Hello everybody, it's me again. I just want to take this opportunity to do something that I was supposed to do like a month ago. I received a PM from blacklily8 in where he actually made a question to me of why I like fighting games, and it is because he saw a response video that I made on a attack video made by snestastic, and in that attack video, I believe it was my first attack video, and in that video I said one of the facts that I said is that I love fighting games. And a month ago he actually saw the video and sent me that PM of why I like fighting games so much, and I responded to him that I wanted to do a response video to that question, and I had a lot of ideas of how to do that response video. I was going to do a big episode responding that particular question. The thing is that I wasn't able to do it because, as you may know, a few of you know, I injured my left knee, which put me back on production of my videos, and I lost a lot of time because of it. And I have other ideas for other videos that I want to make before the year's end, and I really want to do like a season finale episode before the year's end, and then take like a month off to prepare and to come up with new ideas and other stuff that I'm going to do for the show. And since I wasn't able to do the video that I want to do for the fighting games, the response video, it was going to take me until next year to answer him because of the injury that I got. And I don't know if you saw my Thanksgiving video. There was a part that I was trying to run, and I could not run very well because my left knee is working just fine now, but it still hurts a little bit. But for that reason, I was stepped back and wasn't able to do the response. So I'm gonna do it this way. But I know that next year I'm gonna do a video dedicated to fighting games, which will be a follow-up to the answer for his question. So here it goes. The reason why I like fighting games so much, there are so many reasons of why I like them. As you know, we all love video games. That's the main reason why we play video games, is because we love video games. And in all video games, it doesn't matter what type of video game it is. It's a platformer, a shooter, an RPG. All games takes on strategy. You have to come up with a strategy on your own to be able to beat certain games. And back in the 90s, fighting games were a huge thing, as it is now for shooters. As you know, the shooters are the big thing right now. I'm not very good with shooters. I'm a very lousy shot. I get killed very easy. But back in the 90s, I was playing fighting games, and I didn't start playing fighting games with Street Fighter 2. I already played fighting games for many years. Fighting games have been around since the Atari 2600. I have a Chuck Norris game cartridge for the Atari, and although it's not the same thing as a fighting game now, but it is a fighting game. And there are other there was a karate or black belt something for the Coleco or something like that. I don't remember. The thing is that fighting games have been around for many years. One of the classic fighting games is like Karate Champ, ER Kung Fu, and all that stuff. They actually caught my attention because in those games I could actually do one of the things that I liked most, and it is martial arts. But I never had the opportunity to practice a martial art. I always wanted to go to karate classes and all that stuff. But for different reason, I didn't have the opportunity to do so. So fighting games was like an escape or something like that for me to actually do kung fu moves and karate things and all that stuff. But the real reason of why I like fighting games is it is because of this tragedy that you have to come up in a fight. And I found that the strategy that you actually develop in a fighting game is more personal. Anybody can actually take on a shooting game and start shooting around and learn how to shoot. And after a while, every time, well, that is my opinion. I know that most of you that like shooting games are gonna hate me for this, but I found that that once you are good on a shooter game, it's going to be really easy for you to be good in any other shooter game. But in fighting games, all fighting games are very different. Sorry, although the principle is the same, but the games are different. Each character has a specific move, specific special moves. Each fighting game has a very different and unique fighting engine. Which allows you to fight in many different ways. Someone that plays Street Fighter 2, when started to play, let's say, X-Men versus Street Fighter, the engine and the mechanics of both games were completely different. X-Men versus Street Fighter was a more fast-paced, have more combos and all that thing. So you have to adapt and you have to learn. And if you take a person that have never played X-Men versus Street Fighter and put him to play that game against another person, and that person actually played Street Fighter for many years and is an expert, but have never played X-Men versus Street Fighter, he's gonna get his ass kicked by playing X-Men versus Street Fighter because it's not the same engine. And I found it to be very personal because you have to learn not only the moves for each character, because each character has different set of moves, different ways that you can interact with your character, the special moves and all that stuff. But you have to learn how to fight on your own. Let's say we can actually play Street Fighter, and I choose Ryu, and you choose Ryu as well. And we are using the same character that has the same moves, the same special moves. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to use Ryu the same way that you use it. Everybody has a very different fighting style. And that is one of the things that I found very unique on fighting games. Not everybody fights the same way, even though that they use the same character or something like that. Me and my best friend, we used to play a lot in the arcades, and I taught him many of the things that he knew and he knows now on Street Fighter 2. But the thing is that we use the same characters all the time, but he has a very different kind of fighting style than the one that I got. We are very different in that way. So by only knowing the moves of your characters and special move of the characters doesn't guarantee that you're going to win always. Because you have to come out with your own way and your own style of fighting, because you're going to face another person that knows the game as well as you, but he has his own style of fighting. I'm not a very good expert with shooter games. Perhaps it's the same mechanic with shooter games. I don't know. I'm not very good at it, so I do not play them very often, although I play a few of them. But I find out that fighting games, the strategy is more personal. You get more personal with your opponent, your characters, and in each fighting game. And each fighting game is completely different from the other. So I hope that this actually answers the question. Next year, I promised I'm gonna do a big video on fighting games. There's a lot of things on my mind that I haven't been able to do, like the shout out video from 100 subs, which I've already gone to 132. But I'm gonna do it. sorry, but I'm gonna do it. So this is VIDIUM signing out.